Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ed Roberts. We are here at Schaumburg Kia for their big grand opening, part of Rohrman Automotive Group. And Ed, quite the panel we've assembled today on a topic that's very near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely. We got some rock stars here, and we're going to talk about mobile service and what it's doing to change our industry. So, Connor, why don't we start with you and what problem is mobile service really solving for our customers today, and why is it gaining so much momentum?
The main problem mobile service solves for the customer is the fact that it saves them time, right? And time is the most valuable commodity that we have. And so if the dealers are able to deliver time to the customer, you're going to win that loyalty. And we see that across our dealers and with you. It's a huge impact on customer retention and loyalty. And so that's the main problem mobile service is solving for the customer. Now, the reason it's gaining momentum is because customer expectations have dramatically changed over the last 5-6 years, and everyone is aware of that, right? So dealers are now embracing, hey, mobile is now a growth strategy for us. It's a retention strategy for us, and the OEMs are getting behind the dealers and putting together programs that help support them to launch mobile service.
So, key to time is we can spend it, but we can't buy it, and so we got to save as much of it as we can. Nick?
Yep. No, mobile service does correct the problems you may have inside the shop. Outside of your time, you're actually expanding your shop. It's like taking your bay and expanding it out now. It's the convenience back to the customer. At the same token, to the manufacturer supporting us dealers with a program, it's a win. You got to lean in it and embrace it. When you first get in, it's a little like, is this going to work? Am I in the right demographic for it? But with the correct marketing strategies and tying in off the recall platform, I mean, that's massive right there. Going to someone's house or place of business to knock out a safety recall. Yeah, there's a lot of peace of mind that goes behind it too.
Yep. Vince, what would you say about that?
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely time and expectations. Customers today don't want to go to a dealership and spend 2 hours when they can have it done in their driveway. Yeah.
It's so true, Benson. And for our panel that's here today, we have Connor Finnegan of Spiffy, Nick Ruffolo, and Benson Stewart, and Ed Roberts of Bozard Ford Lincoln. So quite the mobile service experts assembled. Nick, I want to come to you because when we're talking about successful mobile service operations in the day-to-day, what does it take to actually run a successful operation, and where do dealerships underestimate the complexity?
First and foremost, you need to treat it as its own department, its own source of revenue. If you're going to try to, in my opinion, because we've tried it, it didn't work, so you have to you adjust. Try to treat it as if it's just part of the service department. It's going to be very hard to have that standalone tech or the one go-to advisor or the appointment coordinator. We broke it down to where it has its own separate scheduler, its own guys that are going in the vans. You have to create it. That's the unique experience you're now going to be able to create for the consumer. The last thing you want to do is then set up an appointment mobile, and guess what happens? The mobile van don't make her. No difference than you could wait for your Comcast guy to come out, and they give you that window of 7 hours, and they don't show up, or they're coming in 4 hours past that. That's the experience you don't want to deliver to a consumer. But I'm going back on here too. I mean, you got 50. I have two.
Well, Connor, he talked about having a separate scheduler and those things, and that's right where you tie in at.
Yeah, I mean, to reinforce what Nick said, I think the critical piece is to have a dedicated team that treats mobile as its own business unit within the dealership. But behind that, you need to support that team with the right software solutions and systems. One thing tactically day to day that we say break down all the time is communication internally from advisors to technicians, and then externally with your customers. So you need to have the right solutions in place to open up that visibility, the transparency to the customer, so they understand when is the tech on the way, when does the tech completed the MPI, so they can see are there any recommended services to approve, and you need to provide that to your internal teams so that they stay on the same page.
And Benson, in thinking, sorry, Connor, with and also, I mean, to follow up on that, the complexity when it comes to, the technical pieces. I mean, this is a very process-oriented department. And how do those logistics really, compound when you're talking about multiple appointments and multiple customers in a day?
Yeah, we see, again, I think some dealers can get away with running things on spreadsheets when you just start, but that is no way to grow and scale the mobile operations. Because the second you add more vans, it compounds and the complexity kind of scales exponentially. And so you need to have the solution to help with scheduling and assigning and dispatching those services to optimize those routes for the technicians. And then again, how do you get the parts department involved? So you're staging the vans the night before, the morning of, beforehand, and the technicians have what they need on board.
Yeah, completely agree. Scalability is really what it is. I think, it's easy to just start a mobile maintenance vertical. But once you start getting beyond 5, 10 vans, it really does become a logistics and systems problem to solve. As Connor mentioned, you've got routing, scheduling, parts, communications, not only with between the departments, but also with the customer. So making sure that that's consistent, not just convenient, is really part of it as well, too.
Well, Nick, I totally agree with you. It is a separate vertical for the dealership. And if we treat it as such, then we'll have a separate business plan for us. When we have a separate business plan, then we have something to work. And then that's when we start really gaining some traction. And yes, it does start with spreadsheets. And then as you expand, you have to add elements to it that makes you more efficient and able to maximize some of the opportunities there. But Nick, I want to come back to you. And how do you balance the convenience of what our customer receives from mobile service and profitability back for the dealership?
That's a great question. Profitability is key. It's hard to generate profit though if you not have the customer and they're not satisfied with what they're doing. So first and foremost, when we start off, really wanted to get it going to where the customer didn't lose sleep of the car not getting done, or coming to the house, and any of the questionables or mind wandering on what might be going on. As far as the process that's driven, it does start off as a separate department, and goal setting for the mobile department, whether it be your 2-week goal, your daily goal, then what's your next month, your 3-month, your 6-month. What did we miss it? And surpass it? Do we underestimate? And communication though is massive because you are routing out vehicles, you are routing out vans. You do have employees out there driving around in 50 vans or hours. I mean, their liability is out there as well. It's making sure when they pull up to someone's house, they're dressed and they show that they're from the Rohrman Automotive field, and instead of just walking up to the door in, a hoodie and a pair of pants. I mean, so what they look like going out there is key, because you have their neighbors, you have fellow colleagues of theirs or co-workers that are watching what's happening. I mean, I've sent the mobile van to my own house and my neighbors are knocking on my door like, wow, what is that? Well, guess what? Now my van's going out to go work on their Toyotas. It's fine. But at the end of the day, though, it's the experience you get into it.
Matt, it's incredible to hear how mobile service has evolved and all of the exciting innovations that will continue to come online in the next year with partners like Spiffy and incredible operations like the Rohrman Automotive Group.
Absolutely. And the more we embrace mobile, the more it'll be received out in our communities, and it'll continue to build the brand loyalty that we all look for.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being with us today. We are here at Rohrman Automotive Group at Schaumburg Kia for their big grand opening. Ed Roberts is here with me, and we'll be right back.